60-Minute Gamer. Hey, I'm back from Conway, Arkansas, attending my first Retro Fest ever, and boy, the weather was great down there. I left here in Minnesota and it was 60. I get down there, it is 85 degrees. It is sunny and I am ready to have some fun. So after I had some scrumptious hotel breakfast, I'm telling you, those are just great breakfasts to have. Some hotels I've been to are just incredible, and some of them are a little lackluster, but nevertheless, man, I was caffeinated and ready to go. I was about 5th or 6th in line, and what they do is they usually have 2 lines at these conventions. They have the guys that'll be paying for the VIP tickets, and they have the regular general admission tickets, and the VIPs usually get in half an hour to an hour earlier before, general admission does. And some of the big ticket items I'll use for that time. So what I'll do is I'll give a rapid walkthrough to the floor and see if I can find any of those big items and see if there are any deals on them before they're gone. And usually once general admission comes in, there's going to be a sea of people, and then it's first come first serve at that time.
Just talk about it.
It's fine. I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna just get it away.
You just keep giving the same vehicle away. You're like,
and then Rich can win it at Really Rad Weekend, and then you can give it away at SoCal, and then
Chris will give it away at Retro.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And all of y'all tomato us.
And I had a blast meeting a lot of those YouTubers. Some of them I met at Midwest Gaming Classic, and there's some that, go to Mo Game Con, but some of these guys are regional that I really never get to see, and by going 11 hours down south, I got to meet some of these YouTubers for the first time, and they were wonderful. They were very gracious, they were very grateful, and they wanted to just meet you and take the picture with you, and they thank you for watching their videos. They were pretty dang cool, if I can't say so myself. And the best way you can, really thank them is by liking and subscribing to their channel and making some comments here and there. It feeds the algorithms. This algorithm changes all the time, and sometimes we see more viewers and sometimes we don't see any viewers. And these guys got tons and tons of people that are watching their channel. But nevertheless, like that, video, and make sure you comment and, say hello to them. And this free play arcade was fun. It had a lot of the classics there. And if you go to a retro gaming convention, this is kind of a big part of it. That makes or breaks a convention is having these free play arcade games where you can go up and kill some time. You're not just going to want to shop the whole time. And I love to play pinball, so going to a convention, that rolls me out for my hometown arcade, which is only open on Fridays and Saturdays, but I got to play some pinball at this convention, and they had a few pins there. And I like to see them expand this pinball area. They had some big ones there, but I would like to see some more than what they just had, and maybe you know, some pinball tournaments. That would be freaking awesome. And there's a lot of people in this little area that they had for the free play arcade, so it was getting used. And you know it was popular because people are always back there playing on the machines. And some of these older titles were actually for sale. You could actually see price tags on them, and they were trying to sell them off. So if you're interested in buying a older classic pin, they actually had a lot of stuff for sale right there in the arcade. And personally, I like to see all these families playing these arcade machines. It's just something that saddens me when I go to an arcade and it's all redemption machines, you know, and some of them are kind of fun, but some of them are just, you know, they're coin traps, and you're not really getting that old school experience that you would be doing here. And don't get me wrong, we had our quarter munchers back in the days, you know, in the late 70s and 80s. I can remember the first one, you know, the first one I can really remember was Moon Patrol. You had to put that quarter in there to continue, and I was just throwing quarters or throwing tokens in that machine so I can get further down, you know, that track. And another part of a game convention is actually the free play area where you can be playing on these older consoles, you know, some of the older games, and they had them set up here so you could just jump on one anytime you wanted and play a little bit. And in the back, they had a room where it was just a graveyard of failed video game consoles. And you can go back and look at them, and it's sad to say I had a lot of those growing up. And one of the central focuses of going to a video game convention is going to be the games themselves. Going in and finding games that you can't find anywhere else. And it is really specific to certain regions of what kind of games you can get, you know, in certain areas. And growing up in central Iowa, I never saw a TurboGrafx. I can't even remember if we had one at a Toys R Us. It just wasn't in our areas, and parents weren't buying that stuff for their kids. So when I go to a game show like this, you know, a convention, you can find these things out on the convention room floor, you know, for purchase. And, you know, now I've got a TurboGrafx 16 and I play it every once in a while, so it is nice to pick up one of those games I have never played before in my life. And I'm always on the lookout for old Atari games, and there are a gazillion commons, and I've just come to that wall where I can't find the games that I don't have. And forever I've been in searching for more 5200, you know, cartridges for the Atari 5200, and I can't find them. They're just not there. I passed on a couple 2 years ago at MGC and regrettably did so because I have never seen those games again. And growing up during the video game crash was an experience because parents, they didn't want to invest in more consoles. They were just done at that point in time. I only had one kid in the neighborhood that had an Atari 5200. The graphics were so much better, the sound was better, but that joystick just sucked, man. I'm telling you, it was probably one of the worst ergonomic joysticks ever, man. That thing was so brutal on your hand. And a few years back, I found a guy on Etsy that was making a 3D printed arcade stick for the 5200, and I actually got one of those, and it makes the game so much enjoyable. And the sad thing is, you got the 2600 Plus that came out, and the 7800 Plus, and now you got the Pac-Man Edition one, and unless you have the cartridges already at home, you know, it's getting harder to find some of these great games. You're going to find a lot of the commons out there, but, you know, when you're looking at some of the rare games, you're going to go to emulation because you're not going to find them on the vending room floor. And on the vending room floor, you're going to find every game you can imagine out there, you know, right after the Atari. There's tons of NES, Super NES, Genesis. I saw tons of Master Systems on the floor. You just got to be patient, and you got to dig for some of this stuff. You know, I've been looking for Target Terror for the Nintendo Wii forever and haven't found it, but I'm going to be patiently looking, and I'm going to check every Wii pile I see out there. So You know, this is why we go to the shows, to pick, you know, for our pickups. And I'm not going to do a pickup show and tell right after this video. I'm just going to let you know that I picked up several t-shirts. I picked up a sign from Retrobeard, some of those 3D printed signs, picked up about a dozen games, and a bunch of stickers from everybody. I think I bought every sticker that Rad Bar had and Rad Junk had, so I could actually put them in my locker. And there's one gaming console that I do not have, and lately I've been picking up games for that. And I'm just prepping for one day I'm just going to pull the trigger and get it, you know. So I'm piling up some of those games right now. And there was a lot of toys out here on the vending floor this year. And I don't know if that is specific to Retro Rick's convention, but there was a lot to be found all over the convention floor. And these vendors were great, man. They had great attitudes, and they were just happy to be there and happy to talk with you. Even if you didn't buy from them, you know, if you recognized them from another convention, they would stop and talk to you for a little bit, and it was really a fun time of like-minded people just getting back together and having a good time. And that's one thing I want to point out too, that all these people that were here and was a part of this convention were pretty much on the same wavelength, man. They were there to have a good time, and they were excited about what they were doing. This wasn't a money grab for them. This wasn't just making more money. This was, you know, giving back to the community, and it was great. And you saw it from everybody, even the guys at the front door that were watching and checking wristbands and lanyards and whatnot. They had a smile on their face, and they were excited that you were at Retrofest. And if you've seen Retro Rick's Game Point video, and he's telling you that running a convention just sucked and he was tired and sucked the life out of him, you know, I can see that coming from his standpoint. But from, you know, a convention person that I'm just there as an attendee and I'm looking around, man, he had it firing on all cylinders. All his staff were there to have a good time and make sure that you had a good time. And I think Sam from Rad Junk really summed it up, you know, in a nutshell, that they're in the hospitality business and they want to make sure that everybody's well taken care of, whether you're at their store, at their convention, you know, that, you know, you're going to leave with a smile on your face. And I know Rick ran around that convention. You can see the stress level on the dude, man. It was just, you know, he wanted to make sure everything was running smoothly and everybody was having a good time. He was a great host for this convention. This convention was awesome. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that was a part of the staffing, that helped out, that carried chairs, that carried tables, you know, whatever they did to do this convention. Thank you for your hard work, and thanks for, you know, serving us up Red Bulls out of the concession stand, man. You guys had a smile on your face too, and it was greatly appreciated. And if you bought a VIP package, you could actually stay for the Saturday after party, and they had some games set up outside. They had a mechanical bull to ride to win a Switch 2. It was just a fun night. They actually had a slushy stand out there that you could pick up. It was like a snow cone, really. You can pick up your snow cone in a collectible cup and pick your own flavoring on it. And I just wanted the cup. I didn't want the flavoring. You know what? It was a hot day, and walking around, that thing was refreshing, man. I really appreciated that snow cone by the end of the day. And I could have went back to the hotel and ventured out and got some fast food somewhere, but I decided to stay there and just be a part of the after party and get some food out of the food truck. And that was pretty dang good barbecue from that company that had the food truck there. I really enjoyed that. And another thing out on the vending room floor that this one had a lot more of than anywhere else I've been was movies. There was DVDs, VHS, and Blu-rays of movies that you could purchase. And as digital starts making its way in and it's kind of shoving physical media out of the way, are we going to see a lot of these, you know, vending floors look like this for the gaming? I can see a lot of the heavy hitters are getting pretty thinned out over the years, and they're there, but you really got to look for them. But they're not as, you know, easily accessible as they were in years past. And myself personally, I am investing in physical media still. I am staying the heck away from the downloads, the license codes, and the game key cards. It's just my preference. I don't know what your preference is, but I want to own physical games. And I know there's smaller developers out there that are going to introduce some games that are only going to be digital, and I'm good with that, man. I'm really good with buying that. But like Donut Dodo, when that came on physical and I could buy it, you know, from the UK in a physical format, you bet my butt that I bought that physical game. I want that in my collection. I don't want that to disappear off of my hard drive or my memory card. I want to have that game to enjoy, you know, whether it be 5, 10, or 20 years from now. And 20 years from now, it'll put me up in my 70s. And if I'm still alive and kicking by then, I want to be gaming. And I want to pull a game off the shelf and play it. I don't want to have to re-download it, you know, digitally. I want to actually buy it once and have it for as long as I can have it. And the vendor floor is prime evidence of that. People want to buy things that they played when they were younger. They want to keep on getting these things. So, people, buy physical games. And I've been to conventions where they hand out door prizes, and it's been great. You know, I walked away with a TV myself at one convention. But Rick did at this convention, he gave a Jurassic Park Jeep away. And I kind of want to talk about that as I'm going into the end of the video, because when that giveaway comes, I just want to play that out and not have any voiceover for that. And I'm not going to play the entire video. I didn't even film the entire video. I was playing myself, man. I was in all 3 rounds. What there was 3 rounds. Every round would have a winner of that round, and they would move on to the finals to play for the Jeep. And it was fun, man. There was 400 people playing Cahoots at the convention, and I think that is the largest multiplayer game that I've ever been in my life. And the area surrounding the stage was just packed, man. Whether you're playing or you're spectating, people were here to watch the spectacle. It was freaking energy in this room. People were there to have fun. And this was one sweet looking Jeep, man. They did it really nice. It's been detailed. They got new tires on it. The inside looked really clean, and the outside looks sweet. I surely would have liked to take this Jeep home and pick my wife up from work in it. As we're getting closer here to getting to the finals for the video, I just want to challenge you guys. If you've never been to a video game convention, get some friends, go to a video game convention, and experience this firsthand. You are going to have a blast, whether you're a collector or not. There is so many things for you to do, whether it be music, panels, shows, shopping, you know, whatever, you know, you want to do, there is stuff for you to do here. Hope you guys are enjoying life. I hope you guys are enjoying your friends and family. And remember, guys, game on.
Fanny pack, they all got it right. She's on fire, guys. Look. This is it. This is it. Last question for a Jurassic Park Jeep. Here we go. Double whites. What character's last words were clever girl? Here we go. Mrs. Toasty. It worked! Guys, give it up one more time for